and welcome to another dose of virtual vitamin Z. This is DZTV for the week of November 16th, 2020. I'm your co-host, Steven.
And I'm your co-host, Claire. Let's get started with some Detroit Zoological Society updates. What do we have coming up this week, Steven?
Well, first of all, we want to make sure that everybody knows about our updated mask policy at the Detroit Zoo. In an effort to keep everybody safe, we are now requiring that guests wear masks at all time when they're at the zoo, unless they need to eat or drink.
You know, Steven, I was out quite a bit in the zoo over the course of the weekend, and everybody was wearing their mask, and we appreciate everybody helping us keep themselves, help keeping our staff safe. So we appreciate everybody's assistance and making sure that we all stay safe together.
Yeah, and I should add, though, the animals safe, too. You know, we really appreciate everybody doing it for one another, our staff and volunteers, and the animals. So thank you for your efforts.
Absolutely. Wildlights opens up on Friday. It is finally here. It's time to get into the holiday season and the feel of things. You can purchase your tickets online, DetroitZoo.org. There are still tickets available, but they are going fast. This is an outdoor event, and masks will be required to make sure that everybody, again, stays safe. But don't miss out on this family and community-friendly event. So come on out and see the beautiful wildlife. We've been putting up lights since August, so there are lots of lights to see.
So I know we've mentioned this before, but we want to make sure that everybody is aware. We are now offering virtual learning labs. So if you want to check them out, you can go to our website at DetroitZoo.org and click on the Education tab, and you'll see that there are several different options that you can look into, like Zoom into the classroom, where DZS educators actually join a classroom, Zoo Tots at school, monthly Zoom to the zoo, careers at the zoo, and then Wolves on Isle Royal. So be sure to check those out and be sure to sign up for them.
Also exciting news, the virtual Zoofari Market is now open. Zoofari Market is one of our gift shops. It's the largest one that's towards at the front of the zoo, but we have made that a virtual shopping experience now, just in time for the holiday season. Visit Detroit Zoo. Well, I'm not going to say that whole URL down on the bottom. You can visit the URL down on the bottom here. You can also access it through our Detroit Zoo website, again, DetroitZoo.org. Do a little bit of holiday shopping. It's a great way to help support the zoo and all of the different conservation work and animal welfare work that we do.
Next up is notes from the Nature Center. So we will be going now to the Belle Isle Nature Center to hear what's been going on there.
Hi, I'm Erin, the Field Conservation Officer and Nature Centers Manager for the Detroit Zoological Society, and I'm here on this beautiful but chilly fall morning outside of the Nature Center, and I'm here with this week's Notes from the Nature Center. Now, we've talked about birds and migration, and this week we're going to focus on mammals. So some of the mammals that you might be seeing at your bird feeder or your local park or your backyard, and how do mammals in Michigan prepare for the winter ahead? All right, let's take a look.
All right, so here are some of our most common backyard and bird feeder using mammals. This is eastern gray squirrel, and there's an eastern chipmunk that just ran in and is going to make an appearance. Now, like many mammals, they are eating as much as they can. They want to put on not just a thick layer of fur, but a thick layer of fat to get through the winter. They're also going to stash seeds and nuts and things that they can find later in the winter. Now, squirrels are going to remain active all winter, but they will go up into trees, into holes in them, and into leafy nests. And the eastern chipmunk here is going to spend its winter mostly in hibernation and underneath the ground and then underneath that insulating layer of snow. Okay, and now let's take a look at this last example from the mammal family that we're going to cover today. This is also a member of the squirrel family. This one is not particularly large. This is a groundhog or a woodchuck. And so you can see with this head-on view, it's quite roly-poly this time of year. It's put on a lot of weight. Groundhogs spend the entire winter underground, coming out in early spring to find a mate. And so they'll be under the ground in their burrow.
All right, thank you for joining me for this week's Notes from the Nature Center. Keep an eye out for the mammals that are using your backyard and your bird feeder and the local parks to find food and create shelter for themselves for the winter. All right, stay healthy, Detroit.
All right, on to our feature story. Where is Solaire? Some exciting developments in the Holden Reptile Conservation Center. Solaire the water monitor is getting some new digs, a pretty significant expansion of his current habitat space. So Solaire will be behind the scenes in a safe habitat space while this new construction starts. Actually, it's starting today. So there will be periods of time where the Holden Reptile Conservation Center is closed to the public as they're doing some of the main construction, and then it will reopen as soon as it's safe for guests to come back in and visit the other reptiles that live there while we're making some expansions. And I'm very pleased to share with you that Stephen and I will be bringing you weekly updates on the progress of the construction, so you know how it's going and you get a sneak peek as to what Solaire's new habitat space is going to look like.
All right, next up, we're going to turn to our virtual education program preview. Now, today, Monday, November 16th, 2020, at 11 a.m. as always, this is DZTV with Claire and Stephen. And then at 4 p.m., Claire will be back with a activity called Should I Tap or Should I Wave? And I have no idea what this is about, so I'm very intrigued.
You have to tune in at 4. This took a little while to put it all together, but it's an exciting look into choices that we make while visiting the zoo and the animals who live here and call the zoo home. So tune in at 4 o'clock to learn a little bit more about that. Tuesday morning at 11, we're going to be joining Danae for a virtual break origami with penguins. I'm excited to tune into that one. And then at 4 p.m., Akilah is going to be sharing a little bit more information about Zara, the new giraffe arrival who's been living here at the zoo for just a few short months. So Akilah will have more information about Zara.
Wednesday at 11 a.m., David will be sharing one of his always wonderful wildlife adventure stories. And then at 4 p.m., Barbie will be sharing an Animinute from the Holden Reptile Conservation Center. So also something to look forward to.
11 a.m. on Thursday, Sandy's going to be talking about wild turkeys. I actually didn't know how intelligent wild turkeys are, or turkeys are in general. So I'm excited to hear more about them with Sandy. And at 4 p.m., we can join Mike for things to look for on a winter hike, because as much as some of us may be holding on to the summer months, it is getting chilly out there, and it's good to know how to enjoy nature year-round. So Mike will be giving us some tips on that.
And then finally on Friday at 11 a.m., Zara will be giving a virtual habitat chat at the beaver habitat. Very exciting. I know that there is the big question mark of where are the beavers whenever people visit the zoo, and we will find more about that out on Friday. And then finally, to close the week out, Brad will be sharing a special version of Brad at the Barn about turkeys. And I believe that he'll be sharing some really great plant-based alternatives to turkey for the holidays.
I was going to say, it must be some holiday without turkeys coming up soon with all these turkey-themed programs. All right, Stephen, over to you for the weather.
All right, so for the weather this week, we are going to go to a very special weather correspondent, a recycling bin. What's the weather like?
Oh, recycle bin, what's the weather like today?
It is a beautiful day out. Happy America Recycles Day!
All right, thank you, Recycling Bin, for that moving weather report. That's everything we have for DZTV this week. Stay healthy, Detroit. Stay safe. Until next week. See you later.